Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Diri Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 16th chapter, how Parikshit received the age of Kali. Text 26 onwards. So 5 texts are together. So now Mother Earth is starting to speak to Dharma, the bull. Satyam Shocham Dayakshantis Tyaga Santosharjavam Shamodamastapah Samyam Titiksho Parati Shutam Jnanam Viraktirashvaryam Shauryam Tejo Balam Smritihi Swatantrayam Kaushalam Kanter Dhairyam Mardavam Evacha Pragalbhyam Prashrayashilam Sah Ojo Balam Bhaga Gambhiryam Stharyam Mastikyam कीर्तिर्मानो अनहंकृतिः एते चान्य च भगवन् नित्या यत्र मा गुणा प्रार्थ्य महत्त्वम् इच्छद्भिर्न वियन्ति स्म कर्हिचित् तेनाहं गुणपात्रेण श्रीनिवासेन साम्प्रतं शोचामि रहितं लोकं पाप्मना कलिनेक्षितम्. In him, now Mother Earth is saying, in him. In him means in the Supreme Personality of Godhead reside the following qualities: the truthfulness, cleanliness, intolerance of another's happiness, unhappiness. Sorry, intolerance of another's unhappiness, the power to control anger, self-satisfaction, straightforwardness, steadiness of mind, control of the sense organs, responsibility, equality, tolerance, equanimity, faithfulness, knowledge, absence of sense enjoyment, leadership, chivalry, influence, the power to make everything possible, the discharge of proper duty, complete independence, dexterity, fullness of all beauty, serenity, kind heartedness, ingenuity, gentility, magnanimity, determination, perfection in all knowledge, proper execution, possession of all objects of enjoyment, joyfulness, immovability, fidelity, fame, worship, pridelessness, being as a personality of Godhead, eternity, and many other transcendental qualities which are eternally present and never to be separated from Him. That personality of Godhead, the reservoir of all goodness and beauty, Lord Shri Krishna, has now closed his transcendental pastimes on the face of the earth. In his absence, the age of Kali has spread its influence everywhere. So I am sorry to see this condition of existence. So Mother Earth, just discussed a few qualities of Krishna. Krishna has unlimited qualities. These are just a few qualities. And this is what Prabhupada is writing. Even if it were possible to count the atoms after smashing the earth into powder, still it would not be possible to estimate the unfathomable transcendental qualities of the Lord. It's completely impossible. Krishna is unlimited, and so are his qualities, his pastimes, his dealings, his devotees. Everything is unlimited. It is said that Lord Anantadeva has tried to expound the transcendental qualities of the Supreme Lord with his numberless tongues, and that for numberless years together, it has been impossible to estimate the qualities of the Lord. The above statement of the qualities of the Lord is just to estimate his qualities as far as a human being is able to see him. But even if it is so, the above qualities can be divided into many subheadings. According to Srila Jiva Goswami, the third quality, intolerance of another's unhappiness, can be divided into one, protection of the surrendered souls, and two, well-wishers for the devotees. Now, the acharyas can, further go into these qualities, and uh, they can make it elaborate further on. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord states that He wants every soul to surrender unto Him only, and He assures everyone that if one does so, He will give protection from the reactions of all sins. Unsurrendered souls are not devotees of the Lord, and thus there is no particular protection for everyone in general. For the devotees, He has all good wishes, and for those who are actually engaged in loving transcendental service of the Lord, He gives particular attention. He gives direction to such pure devotees to help and discharge their responsibilities on the path back to Godhead. So his dealing with his devotees is completely different from dealing with people in general. By equality, 10, the Lord is equally kind to everyone, as the sun is equal in distributing its rays over everyone. Yet, there are many who are unable to take advantage of the sun's rays. Similarly, the Lord says that surrendering unto Him is a guarantee for all protection from Him. But unfortunate persons are unable to accept this proposition, and therefore they suffer from all material miseries. So, even though the Lord is equally well wishing to everyone, the unfortunate living being, due to bad association only, is unable to accept His instructions in toto. And for this, the Lord is never to be blamed. He is called the well wisher for the devotees only. But he appears to be partial to his devotees, but factually, the matter rests on the living being to accept or reject equal treatment by the Lord. So it's all up to us. Krishna is equal to everyone. Like he says in Bhagavad Gita, Samoham sarva bhuteshu na me dveshyosti na priya. I'm equal to everyone. I envy no one, and there is no one not dear to me. But the very next line he says, Ye bhajanti tu ma bhaktya mai teteshu cha. But those who worship me, they are in me and I am with them. They are in special category. But rest everybody, he says, I'm equal to everybody. I'm neutral. The Lord never deviates from his word of honor. When he gives assurance for protection, the promise is executed in all circumstances. So, protection, Krishna, when he says, Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja, Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshishyami Ma Shucha. I'll protect you from all kinds of fear. Do not worry. But this doesn't mean, or like Krishna, when he tells Arjun, okay, you declare it boldly. Name Bhakta Pranashati, my devotee never perishes. It doesn't mean the material body of the devotee will never perish. Of course, he can protect the material body of a devotee also, but he doesn't necessarily give that protection. All it means is the consciousness of my devotee will ever be intact. So otherwise, how can we explain Abhimanyu was killed in the same war before Arjun died? Arjun was father of Abhimanyu, and Abhimanyu got killed so soon. He was very young, and he is a pure devotee. He is son of Krishna's own sister. So it doesn't mean when he says Name Bhakta Praneshati that the body of his devotee will never perish. It is going to perish. But the consciousness will be protected. That's more important actually. The responsibility of Lord is also unique. The Lord has no responsibility because all his work is done by his different appointed energies. But still, he accepts voluntarily responsibilities in displaying different roles in his transcendental pastimes. As a boy, he was playing the part of a cowboy. As a son of Nand Maharaj, he discharged responsibilities perfectly. Similarly, when he was playing the part of a Kshatriya as the son of Maharaj Vasudev, he displayed all the skill of a martially spirited Kshatriya. In almost all cases, the Kshatriya king has to secure a wife by fighting or kidnapping. This sort of behavior for a Kshatriya is praiseworthy in the sense that the Kshatriya must show his power of chivalry to his would-be wife so that the daughter of a Kshatriya can see the valor of her would-be husband. So among Kshatriyas, this like a code of conduct. They had to either fight for his wife or kidnap the wife. Again, even after kidnapping, he had to fight with so many kings. But in all his 16,108 marriages, basically he did that. And this was to send a proper message to his would-be wife that, see, your husband is not some like a weak person. He's a very strong person. Because this is part of Kshatriya marriage. Even the personality of Godhead Sri Ram displayed such a spirit of chivalry during his marriage. He broke the strongest bow called Haradhanur and achieved the hand of Sita Devi, the mother of all opulence. The Kshatriya spirit is displayed during marriage festivals, and there is nothing wrong in such fighting. Lord Shri Krishna discharged such responsibility fully because although he had more than 16,000 wives, in each and every case he fought like a chivalrous Kshatriya and thus secured a wife. To fight 16,000 times to secure 16,000 wives is certainly possible only for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Similarly, he displayed full responsibility in every action of his different transcendental pastimes. So he is a very responsible person. Of course, many times his pastimes are like that. We don't understand. So that's why we have to take shelter of a guru to properly understand his pastimes. The 14th quality, knowledge, can be further extended into 5 subheadings, namely intelligence, gratefulness, power of understanding the circumstantial environment of place, object, and time, perfect knowledge of everything, and knowledge of the self. Only fools are ungrateful to their benefactors. The Lord, however, does not require benefit from anyone besides himself because he is full in himself. Still, he feels benefited by the unalloyed devotees of the Lord. The Lord feels grateful to his devotees for such unsophisticated, unconditional service and tries to reciprocate it by rendering service, although the devotee also has no such desire in his heart. So, gratefulness is another quality, another subheadings of knowledge. The transcendental service of the Lord is itself a transcendental benefit for the devotee, and therefore the devotee has nothing to expect from the Lord. On the assertion of the Vedic aphorism, Sarvam Khalam Idam Brahma, we can understand that the Lord, by the omnipresent rays of his effulgence called Brahmjyoti, is all pervading inside or outside of everything, like the omnipresent material sky, and thus he is also omniscient because he is present everywhere. Of course, Prabhupada here talks about Brahmjyoti, but as Paramatma also, he is present everywhere. So, since he is present everywhere, he knows everything. As far as the beauty of the Lord is concerned, he has some special features that distinguish him from all other living beings. And over and above that, he has some special, attractive, beautiful features by which he attracts the mind of even Radharani, the supermost beautiful creation of the Lord. He is known, therefore, as Madan Mohan, or one who attracts the mind of even Cupid. Srila Jiva Goswami Prabhu has scrutinizingly analyzed other transcendental qualities of the Lord and affirmed that Lord Shri Krishna is the absolute supreme personality of Godhead, Parabrahman. He is omnipotent by his inconceivable energies, and therefore he is the Yogeshwara, or the supreme master of all mystic powers. Being the Yogeshwara, his eternal form is spiritual, a combination of eternity, bliss, and knowledge. The non devotee class cannot understand the dynamic nature of his knowledge because they are satisfied to reach up to his eternal form of knowledge. All great souls aspire to be equal in knowledge with him. This means that all of the knowledge is ever insufficient, flexible, and measurable, whereas the knowledge of the Lord is ever fixed and unfathomable. So, this is knowledge, and like Prabhupada said in the beginning of this purport, that his qualities are always increasing, they are unlimited qualities. So, knowledge of him, knowledge of his qualities is very difficult. And having knowledge equal to his knowledge, that's completely impossible. This material world is a product of the Mahatattva, which is a state of the Lord's dreaming condition in his Yoga Nidra mystic slumber in the causal ocean. And yet the whole creation appears to be factual presentation of his creation. This means that the Lord's dreaming conditions are also factual manifestations. He can therefore bring everything under his transcendental control. And thus, whenever and wherever he does appear, he does so in his fullness. The Lord, being all that is described above, maintains the affairs of the creation, and by his so doing, he gives salvation even to his enemies who are killed by him. He is attractive even to the topmost liberated soul, and thus he is worshipable even by Brahma and Shiva, the greatest of all demigods. Even in his incarnation of Purusha avatar, he is the Lord of the creative energy. The creative material energy is working under his direction, as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. He is a control switch of the material energy, and to control the material energy in the innumerable universes is a root cause of innumerable incarnations in all the universes. So that is Krishna. Even that, whatever we are reading about Krishna is basically um, very little fragment of his qualities. We cannot even read about him completely. That is Krishna. His qualities cannot be counted by anyone, however great one may be. Text 31. Atmanam chanu shochami bhavantam chamarottamam devan pitrin rishin sadhun sarvan varnas tathashraman. I'm thinking about myself and also best amongst the demigods, about you, as well as about all the demigods, sages, denizens of Pitriloka, devotees of the Lord, and all men obedient to the system of Varna and Ashram in human society. To effect the perfection of human life, there is a cooperation between men and demigods, sages, denizens of the Pitriloka, devotees of the Lord, and the scientific system of Varna and Ashram order of life. The distinction between human life and animal life therefore begins with the scientific system of Varna and Ashram, guided by the experience of the sages in relation with the demigods, gradually rising to the summit of re-establishing our eternal relation with the Supreme Absolute Truth, Lord Sri Krishna. So it starts, the real human life, Prabhupada is saying, it starts with the Varna Ashram system. Even before that, it's like animal life. And then slowly we rise to the platform of re-establishing our relationship with Krishna. When God made Varnashram Dharma, which is strictly meant for developing animal consciousness into human consciousness, and human consciousness into godly consciousness, is broken by advancement of foolishness, the whole system of peaceful and progressive life is at once disturbed. In the age of Kali, the first attack of the venomous snake strikes against the God-made Varnashram Dharma, and that the person properly qualified as a Brahman is called a Shudra, and Shudra by qualification is passing as a Brahman, all on a false birthright claim. To become a Brahman by a birthright claim is not at all bona fide, although it may be fulfillment of one of the conditions. But the real qualification of Brahman is to control the mind and the senses, and to cultivate tolerance, simplicity, cleanliness, knowledge, truthfulness, devotion, and faith. Faith in the Vedic wisdom. In the present age, consideration of the necessary qualification is being neglected, and the false birthright claim is being supported, even by a popular, sophisticated poet, the author of Ramcharit Manas. Now, I don't know what Tulsi Dasi wrote here, but this is what Prabhupada is writing about him. This is all due to the influence of the age of Kali. Thus, Mother Earth, represented as a cow, was lamenting the regrettable condition. Text 32-33. Brahmadeva bahutitham yatpang moksha kamastapa samcharan bhagvat prapanna sashri svavasa Svasam Aravindavanam Vihaya Yat Pada Sobagamalam Bhajate Anrakta Tasyaham Kulisham Kushketu Ketah Shrimat Padar Bhagavata Samlang Kritangi Trinatya Roch Uplabhyatato Vibhutim Lokan Samam Vyasrij Dutsma Yantim Tadante. Lakshmi ji, the goddess of fortune, whose glance of grace was sought by demigods like Brahma, and for whom they surrendered many a day unto the personality of Godhead, gave up her own abode in the forest of lotus flowers and engaged herself in the service of the lotus feet of the Lord. I was endowed with special powers to supersede the fortune of all the three planetary systems by being decorated with the impressions of the flag, thunderbolt, elephant driving rod, and lotus flower, which are signs of the lotus feet of the Lord. But at the end, when I felt I was so fortunate, the Lord left me. The beauty and the opulence of the world can be enhanced by the grace of the Lord and not by any man-made planning. When Lord Krishna was present on this earth, the impressions of the special signs of his lotus feet were stamped on the dust, and as a result of this specific grace, the whole earth was made as perfect as possible. In other words, the rivers, the seas, the forests, the hills, and the mines, which are the supplying agents for the necessities of men and animals, were fully discharging their respective duties. Therefore, the riches of the world surpassed all the riches of all of the planets by the three planetary systems of the universe. One should therefore ask that the grace of the Lord always be present on the earth, so that we may be favored with His causeless mercy and be happy, having all necessities of life. So one may ask, how may we be favored with His causeless mercy and be happy? How can we detain the Supreme Lord on this earth after His mission is fulfilled and He has left this earth for His own abode? The answer is that there is no need to detain the Lord. The Lord, being omnipresent, can be present with us if we want Him at all. By His omnipresence, He can always be with us if we are attached to the devotion service by hearing, chanting, remembering, etc. So then Prabhupada explains this process of devotion service. There is nothing in the world with which the Lord is disconnected. The only thing we must learn is to excavate the source of connection and thus be linked with Him by offenseless service. We can be connected with Him by the transcendental sound representation of the Lord. The holy name of the Lord and the Lord Himself are identical, and one who chants the holy name of the Lord in an offenseless manner can at once realize that the Lord is present before him. In this age, when everything is polluted by the contamination of Kali, it is instructed in the scriptures and preached by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but that by chanting the holy name of the Lord, we can at once be free from contamination and gradually rise to the status of transcendence and go back to Godhead. The offenseless chanter of the holy name of the Lord is as auspicious as the Lord Himself. And the movement of the pure devotees of the Lord all over the world can at once change the troublesome face of the world. So only by propagation of the chanting of the holy name of the Lord can we be immune from all effects of the age of Kali. So in this purport, Prabhupada, like in the words, Mother Earth was talking about Lakshmi Ji, goddess of fortune. And then Mother Earth was talking about herself, that because she had because Krishna had walked on her, and the marks on the lotus feet of Krishna was stamped on earth. But so because of those stamps, earth was very opulent. There was nothing lacking. But slowly, everything went away. So earth is saying now, or Prabhupada is saying, if we are connected with Krishna, if Krishna is here, there cannot be anything lacking in this world, even today. And how can Krishna be here in this day and age? By chanting of the holy names of the Lord, by his devotees, and not just chanting. Prabhupada saying, offenseless chanting, offenseless service. Then Krishna is there in his holy name. Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, at one place he says, if we chant the holy name of Krishna with offenses, then we just speak out the words, the akshars. It's not the name itself. It's a word, but it's not the Harinam. There's a huge difference. And Prabhupada at one place had explained, just like when little kids, they go and they buy this plastic gun, and then they come home and they're playing with the plastic gun, and it makes all sorts of noise. The plastic guns, it's a toy. But that noise coming from the plastic gun is not the noise of a real bullet. It's just some sound, imitation sound of a bullet. So similarly, if we are not chanting properly, if we are committing offenses in our service, in our chanting, then the words which are the akshar which are coming out of our mouth are ha, ra, ka, sha, na, ra, ma. But they are not the holy name. It's like the plastic gun making sound of bullets. So we are also making sound of Harinam, but it's not the Harinam itself. It's not the real bullets are not coming out then, which can kill our material desires, our material aspirations. So we have to come to the level of chanting properly. We have to. Then when the holy name is coming out of our mouth, Krishna is there in that holy name, and there cannot be anything lacking in this material world. Not even in our lives, anything can be lacking. Because wherever there is Krishna, the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Ji, thousands of Lakshmi Ji will be there. There cannot be anything lacking. So all the problems in the world can be solved by devotional service, and especially in this day and age, by chanting the holy names of the Lord properly. So I'll stop here. It's 10:30. See anybody has any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mantra.
Prabhuji, how Krishna protects the soul, not the body? Abhi we just discussed. The body will get
He
the.
protects the consciousness.
Okay.
That
Consciousness means the soul.
it may not. Consciousness means the God consciousness of soul, Krishna consciousness of soul. Consciousness is symptom of soul. Consciousness could be, we could be in body conscious, or we could be Krishna conscious. Soul is always Krishna conscious, but our consciousness gets covered over when we fall in this material world. So we have to purify that, we have to clean that consciousness. Is it okay? Or?
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Prabhuji, one more question.
Yes, brother.
Hare Krishna. Vinaya. So it's about
Yes, brother.
Shloka 16, which I was reading today morning. Lord Krishna says about Shat and Asat, that is, I think, truth and untruth, to Arjuna. I just want to know, when we talk about Asat, it's the materialistic world. Anything you talk about, a house, you talk about someone, your relatives, yourself, those are Asat. And Sat is your, like Archana Mataji said, soul. So the question which arises, it's like, what was the need of creating this body, and not just keeping the soul itself to be there? Like just putting this, in it, it's just like we change the cloth. So the same way, one body is just like child, and then youth, and then it becomes old, and then transforms. Like the death happens, and the next body. Why not just the soul, which is also, you said, like Krishna conscious? Soul should be only there and shouldn't be any body there. What was the need of a body?
Well, when the soul falls from the spiritual world, the reason he falls, now please don't ask me how he falls, because Prabhupada never answered that question, so I don't know. When he falls, the reason he falls is because he becomes envious of Krishna in the spiritual world, that how come Krishna is the center of enjoyment? Why not me? So Krishna sends him to material world, because in the spiritual world he says, I am the only one who can be the controller, proprietor, enjoyer. You try in the material world. So the material world, first thing we get is a material body. With this body, we try to be the controller, enjoyer, proprietor, and not realizing that we don't even control this body. And this body is all made of asat. There is nothing sat in this body. Material body means asat. If it was spiritual body, then spiritual body cannot grow old, cannot get disease, cannot die. So this is material body. So it has all these problems. So he had to give us the material body, and with this material body, we try to control over the material nature, which again is impossible. This is what we have to learn, we have to understand. But those who don't understand, they still try to control. Is it okay?
Yeah, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Priya Mataji, you had a question?
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, so,
Hare Krishna.
okay, yeah. What is your take on Vishnu Sahasranam? I've heard about this, and it's very nice. So, but it's too long to chant, for a day together, sit and then do it together. So, what is your take on that? How do we? It's nice to hear. I mean, it is a lot of thousand. It's nama of Krishna and Vishnu. So I wanted to hear from you. So chanting, I'm progressing. I've gone till now 12, 16 sometimes, so I'm able to make it. Additionally, this interests me. So is it like a week I can do, or what is your take on that?
Well, Vishnu Sahasranam is very powerful, and Devotees in South, they chant it a lot, and it is all, as you said, 1,000 names of Vishnu. But since we are followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's line, especially follow Rupa Goswami, and then other acharyas, and then Srila Prabhupada. So we are trying to develop bhakti towards Radha and Krishna in a particular mood. So that mood is available through chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. If one wants to develop a mood of awe and reverence, then Vishnu Sahasranam is the best thing. Or whatever in Ramanujacharya, Shri Sampradaya, they recommend. But it's right now, like we are still trying. We don't know what mood exactly we are in. So once we get qualified, we will understand the mood, whatever we are with Krishna. Then we'll develop that. But right now we are just trying anyway. We're not even performing the bhakti properly. So we are still struggling. So there's nothing wrong in chanting Vishnu Sahasranam or the names of Ram or Nrsimhadev, Vamandev, Varahadev. But since we are following this path of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in which it is recommended Hare Krishna Mahamantra, so we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Okay. Thank you for that.
That's it.
Hare Krishna.
You're welcome. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Is Ashok Prabhu there or he left? Hare Krishna, Ashok Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
How's Radhika Mata doing?
She's good. She has come back home, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
That's a great news.
Oh, yeah, great. That's good news.
Lots mercy.
Very well.
That we have never met any devotees in this group